Hello, this is Michael Prezioso from Shuto Karate Club of Sellersville. And the subject of this video is an interesting one. It's about visualization training, also known as image training. And this is a way in which you can mentally perform some physical activity or routine that you do. And by mentally performing it, you can actually improve your physical performance of it. Now, this is a method that's been scientifically studied, and there are many high-level athletes around the world in different sports who use this, and they use it and improve their performance by doing so. We're going to talk about it with relation to karate, and specifically to doing kata. But you can use this method for other things. For instance, if you play a sport like basketball and you want to improve, say, your free throw shooting, you have to, of course, practice your free throw shooting over and over and over and over again to get good at it and get better at it. But you can also add to that training by doing it in your mind. And in your mind, you perform it perfectly every time. You get swish every time you shoot. Another way is if you play a musical instrument and you have a performance or concert or a recital coming up. And of course, you have to practice your pieces for that recital or performance over and over and over again. But you also perform mentally. You do it in your mind, and in your mind, you're in front of the audience and you do it perfectly. Probably it could also work for taking a test, like a written test for school or something. And if you're the kind of person who gets test anxiety, that is, you get nervous when you have to take a test and you forget what you know, you could probably use image training before the test to imagine yourself taking the test and not having any anxiety so that you could remember everything. But anyway, we're talking about it related to karate, and what I'm going to suggest is that you can use visualization training to improve your kata performance. Not for kata that you don't know yet. You can't use visualization training to do something that you've never done before and then go out and expect to do it. It doesn't work like that. It has to be something, in this case a kata, that you already know all the moves to it, and you know how they're supposed to be done correctly. But maybe your performance of it isn't always perfect. It isn't always you don't always do it correctly. So as long as you know what it should be like and what it should feel like, then you could use image training in your mind. In addition to actually physically practicing it, you could use the image training to also enhance your performance, make it better. And I'm not going to go into the science of how this works. It's too complicated. But just on a very general level, when you do some physical activity, any physical activity, okay, actually, but anything where you have to learn how to do it, riding a bike, walking, when you learn to walk, the first time you did anything, this is some skill you got. Well, your brain is always communicating with the rest of your body. Any place in your body that moves or that has feeling, which is pretty much everywhere in your body has feeling, your brain is constantly sending instructions to it and getting information back from it. So when you walk, your feet are telling your brain, oh, we're contacting the floor now, and your brain's saying, okay, take the next step. So when you're doing karate, when you kick, your legs and feet are telling your brain, sending signals back to it. So you don't have to see yourself kicking or doing anything in karate to know that it's happening. So that's why sometimes we turn the lights out and do kata. Well, you don't need to see it because you can feel it. All the parts of your body are telling your brain where they are in space, when they've finished their technique, and they're saying, we're ready for the next instruction, and then the brain gives the next instructions. This happens, of course, very, very, very quickly, faster than you can even think about it. So when you do a punch, and you finish your punch and tense all your muscles, all of those muscles are telling the brain, okay, we finished. We did the punch, it's done, what next? So anyway, when you do visualization training, you are making those connections stronger, those connections between your brain and all the other parts of your body. Of course, when you actually physically do it, you're making the connection stronger too, and you're making your muscles stronger, etc. But if you don't have time or don't have the energy or you don't have the opportunity to train, you can sit down and take 5 minutes or something and do the kata in your mind, and you're making those connections between your brain and the other parts of your body. You're making them stronger so that when you next go to actually do the kata, those connections will be stronger. Okay, so that's a kind of a long way of explaining that this stuff works. It works, but again, you have to imagine yourself doing it correctly. And in order to do that, you have to physically know what it feels like to do it correctly. So it has to be something you already know how to do. So I'm going to say, take a kata that you know already, but you want to make your performance better. Any kata that you know, and do that. So what I'm going to say is, find a place in your home find a room that's relatively quiet. There's no distractions. Find a chair that's comfortable for you. Sit down. Don't be in your dogi, actually, because part of your imagination is going to be to imagine what your dogi feels like. And you're not going to imagine yourself in your house. I want you to imagine yourself being here at the dojo. So you're here at the dojo because that's where we normally do karate. And you're performing your kata in front of other people. Okay, that's the setting I want to establish for you. And I'm going to do that in a moment. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, get in that comfortable place, close your eyes, and listen to me establish the mood, establish the environment. And then after that, I want you to I want you to, in your mind, be in the dojo, be in your dogi, be in front of people, and do your kata, and do it perfectly. Okay, so we're going to do that in a moment. First, I want to just remind you what the dojo looks like, so I'm going to pan the camera around. Here is the wall with the chairs. I used to have the mats against those doors, but I moved them, but it doesn't matter. Whatever you imagine is fine. There's the floor, there's the bags and Bob along the wall there. See that column in the middle wrapped in black? Remember that? There we have the posters. There we have the Joe sticks stacked in the corner. More posters. Here comes the showman with the pictures of Funakoshi Sensei and Raboin Sensei. And there's a scroll hanging there. And then there's the table with the bell on it. There's some practice swords in the corner there. And of course the mirror. And well, you get the picture. That's it. So that's just to remind you what the dojo looks like. I'm going to ask you to use all your senses. Well, maybe not taste, but use the other 4 senses when you do your image training. Don't just see it. You got to see what's happening, hear what's happening, smell what's happening, and feel what's happening. So, okay, time to close your eyes now. So close your eyes, get comfortable, and just listen. And I'm going to give you the setting, and then you can turn the video off and do your kata. And I want to say that you can come back to this video anytime and start it at this point. Don't listen to all the rest of the explanation. Start it here where I give you the setting. And then you can play that part. It's only going to be like 2 minutes. And then do your kata. Or if you understand what I'm saying here, you don't need the video at all. If you can establish this environment in your mind and then do your kata, that works fine. In fact, I hope you will be able to do that. So you won't have to use this video. You'll just be able to establish the environment in your mind and then go do it. So close your eyes. I'm going to establish the mood and the setting. Okay? So here we go. You're in the dojo. Remember what it looks like? Remember what it sounds like. Remember the clock ticking and the hum of the fluorescent lights in the ceiling. Remember what it sounds like when your feet stick to the floor as you're walking, that little sound that happens? Remember what the floor feels like? How it's spongy against the bottom of your feet? And feel your dogi against your skin, rubbing against your skin. Feel the air of the dojo. It could be cool, or it could be in the summertime. It could be a little warm and humid. Whichever you choose, that's what it feels like this time. If you can remember the smell, try to smell what the room is like. So try to get all your senses, seeing, hearing, feeling, and smelling. Now when you do your kata, see, feel, and hear yourself doing each move perfectly. You are completely calm and confident. There are people watching you, but you don't pay any attention to them. When you move, you tense all of your muscles at the completion of each move, and then you relax them immediately. Your fast moves happen in the blink of an eye. If someone watching you blinks, they're going to miss your move. That's how fast it is. Your slow moves happen very slowly and smoothly. Your stances are low and steady. Your hips are the first thing you move when you step or when you do any technique. Your attention is completely focused on the imaginary opponent in front of you or to the side. Your ki is like the roar of a lion, and it startles everyone in the room. When you come back to ready stance, you have a feeling of perfect accomplishment. Okay, I'm going to stop the video here. So that's the kind of setting you should establish. And then from there, after you've established that, go and do your kata and do it perfectly. So I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope you will try out visualization training and let me know how it works out for you.